Previously on QuestFest.
So,
and how long you think that's gonna be?
Are you sure you're all right?
okay. Okay, that was a little bit rough. I'm sorry. I have been here for months. I would like to think I know a little bit of how things operate. What is happening right now? I came into town. It looks different. You weren't the mayor this morning. You were just an elder?
I was democratically elected.
Today?
No, I've been the mayor for most of my life.
That is not how mayorships work.
Well, I keep getting re-elected.
We're outside now. We're leaving.
Bon over here. What is
so
wrong
what the
with...
fuck is up with this?
We see, I guess the bonbon that you know isn't really me, but also is kind of me.
I touch my finger to your forehead.
Yeah, I'm real, honey.
Okay.
I mean, you can call me Bonbon, but my original name was Bonnie, if that makes you feel better.
Cool. Well, nice to meet you, Bonnie.
Nice to meet you, formally.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
I need a break. Oberon, Bonnie, I guess. Do you want a drink?
Yeah,
It's on
sure.
me. Cheers to making your acquaintance, Bonnie. To yours as well, Oberon. What a fucking day we've had.
Boy, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was crazy today, you know. I know I put on a facade of confidence, but that giant lizard was fucking scary, man.
How did you take that on all by yourself? though?
I'm fast. I'm just. If you heard the phrase cat-like reflexes, it's they're not shitting you when they say that.
So, Lionel, you good?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Oberon, you look like you're keeping it together pretty well, but I don't know about this one.
Oberon and I failed the same amount of constitution.
But you both have a good night. I'm gonna turn over. It is not because it is because I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anybody right now. I really just want to sleep.
Okay, good night.
Okay, good night. Oberon turns over.
Bonnie, I think I'm gonna turn in too.
That's a
think
good
I've had it
choice.
for today. Could tomorrow morning I gonna be with Bonnie to be?
I don't usually know.
Okay, I'll just play it by ear. It's been a real pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
The next morning, all three of you wake up in tight, cramped quarters, and you can
What?
hear the sound of thumping, as though almost something pushing against the wind. A boom, 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 boom. You hear shouting in the distance coming, and the thud of boots as they are tromping, and you hear battle stations!
What the fuck?
Okay.
Okay,
Oberon hops up, grabs his staff, and heads out. I guess.
is it Bon something up on the top
you.
bunk?
Yeah.
Bon.
You can call me whatever you like, honey.
Okay, come on, Bonnie, let's go.
As you exit the room, these doors are small and tight, and the floor is made of metal.
Oh.
As are the walls around you. The door has a circle spinning valve door, and as you open, you see men and women dressed in what looks to be sharp, crisp white and blue uniforms, all tailored in a style that you don't recognize. You look at it and it looks familiar, as though it is of your age, just not necessarily something you've particularly seen.
Mm-hmm.
And they are all bustling around you.
Are we on the main deck?
You are you don't know that you're on a deck at all yet.
Cameron does.
You are inside the ship, and you are on the you can see a door that seems to be leading upward, as well as a staircase, people coming out of doors all in front of you. A shorter short here meaning 5'6", 5'7"-ish figure comes around the corner, cutting a sharp figure in his uniform, has a large mustache that trails up, and behind him slung what looks to be two short swords. He says, you're up. Good. We might need your help up top.
Okay, who are you?
Even as you say it, the words come to you. This is Vice Captain Dagger. He is the second in command of the ship that you're on. Of the airship that you're on.
I knew it.
I don't like it here. I don't like this.
It's better than water.
No, it's not. I don't like this.
You aren't sure why you are on the ship necessarily, but you know that you're taking a journey as part of a fleet. You think potentially to participate in a battle or to defend. You're unsure, but you know you've been hired to do so. It's as though you know this, you believe this, and yet you've never heard of this concept at the same time.
It's happening again.
I was gonna say, are you guys feeling the same thing? I know what this is, I think.
I hate this.
Don't worry about it right now. Sounds like we need it up top.
All right, I guess Sally forth then.
Sure, follow Sally, whatever.
As you roll up to the top, you see the doors opening above you, and you can feel the great wind pulling you. But you instinctively know that the deck should be safe, that the same magic that keeps the ship afloat, keeps your feet on the ground of the ship, unless you decide, think, and leap off. With that in mind, just as you're breaking out into the sky, you can see men and women all around you tying ropes to their what look to be the vest that they've tied on around you. As you come up, they are offered to you.
Are we in different uniforms too?
You are dressed as you were.
Okay.
As you come up, the what looks to be sort of the privates of the bunch offer you a vest as well, each fitted to you.
I take it.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. I think like Lionel's gonna start to get caught up in the adventure. This is super exciting.
On the horizon,
His tail is twitching.
as you look around you, you're in a small, roughly 30 feet across airship and maybe 60 feet long. It is not large. The crew around you numbers no more than 15, maybe 20, including those helming the ship. And those that you recognize as though having been around and yet also at the same moment have never seen before. Around you, you see 4 others, creating 5 altogether, and you're in what looks to be some sort of cross formation, 1 above, 1 below, and 2 on each side, and you are center. On the horizon, you see several airships coming at a great speed. They're small, look like almost skim boats, single propeller. Yours is made of blue metal, as are the ones around you. Shining with an almost azure light as the sun hits it. 2 propellers, 1 on the front, 1 on the back, and a helm above, enclosed in a glass transparent dome. And around, you see the glowing barrier that keeps you both planted on the ship, as well as protects the ship from enemy fire. And at moments to go, you see the cannons at the front being loaded, as well as men going to the sides, loading with what look to be traditional cannonballs, as well as other more shimmering ammunition. Everybody roll initiative.
13?
20.
23. Have a +6 to initiative. Good God.
Lionel, you don't go first.
Oh.
In front of you, you see as the initial few ships have crested the horizon, now too can you see a larger, grander ship that seems to be proceeding slowly. You instinctively know that this is the ship you are here to stop. Around you, you hear men crying, but you cannot hear their voices above the shrieking of the wind. The small skimmer ships come in at an angle. Two of them reaching you before as you even have a moment to react. And within seconds, men drop out of the ship, launching themselves at this and landing on the deck.
Awesome.
There are 4 men in front of you. Around the armsmen who are manning the cannons turn, reaching for their belts to pull weapons, but you again know your job is to get them off the ship. That is what you've been paid to do. Defend the deck until you can reach that ship.
Do we know if we're good guys or bad guys? I assume we know.
Hans, are we the baddies?
You know that you've been paid to take a job.
Right.
You can't place the name of the nation that has paid you, nor can you place the name of the nation that you're fighting.
Okay.
All you know is that the colors flying are blue and white here, and on the horizon, yellow and red. Lionel, now it is your move.
I dart for the first one that looks open. Is there one that is not within 5 feet of others?
They are all almost standing back to
In a
back
formation,
right now.
okay.
Yeah, so they are unfortunately. It is though they've landed center deck, back to back in a 2 square by 2 square formation, landing center back. They are all right next to each other.
Come on,
All right.
ladies, let's get
I just-
information.
I dart directly for the first one that I see.
Okay. In front of you, no less than 15 feet away.
Cool.
He's reaching. He seems to be wielding, dressed in all yellow here. He seems to be wielding some sort of large quarterstaff that has imbued crystals on each end and has heavy metal boots.
Quick question. Would I be able to... Can I retcon slightly and have prepared spells for today?
Yes.
Okay.
You woke up with whatever spells you would have prepared. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
All right. It's rapier blazing. Rapier blazing. I dart at him.
Roll an attack.
10.
10 does not succeed. He, with the crisp professionalism of a soldier, knocks your blade away as he scoffs at your dueling style.
Oh no.
My cunning action to disengage and back up another, 15 feet.
So
Back
effect-
into formation.
So effectively, you lunge forward, he knocks the blade away, and you just almost same breath and back. Bonnie, what do you do?
Do any of them look different? Do they all look the same?
All 4 of them look the same, dressed
Okay.
in the exact same colors and wielding the same weapons.
I'm just gonna shoot a crossbow at one of them that Lionel hasn't taken.
You instinctively know
That I can't do that.
you can. It's at disadvantage.
Ah.
The wind blowing the bolts.
Okay. Okay, well, I ready my crossbow and then go, fuck it. And so I run up and swing with my axe.
Perfect. Roll an attack. Are you raging or are you?
Not yet.
Okay.
A bunch. 18 plus 6.
You succeed.
Sweet. I'll find the right dice. 16.
16 damage?
Yeah.
Oh.
I A great axe is a
D12.
D12.
I always forget about the D12. I was like, I am so confused.
I rolled a 12,
Yep.
Good.
and I got +4.
You sink your axe with a sickly thud straight into the chest of the first soldier whom Lionel had attacked but missed, drawing the attention of the three others. But he looks wounded as blood oozes from the sucking chest wound. The two around him attack, reaching for you.
Great. I begin to feel the exhilaration of battle that Bon Bon usually does.
Acceleration. Annihilation.
20 against your armor class.
That'll hit.
Oh, and a nat 20.
No! Son of a bitch. Well, now I'm gonna rage. After this. Is this bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage?
This is bludgeoning.
Okay. It doesn't matter right now, but it might later.
Okay, so 8 damage on the first hit.
Yes!
Second was a crit. Woof.
Oh, God.
11 damage on the second hit.
Okay.
The one you hit retreats in a practice motion, swapping with the one behind him. You see him reaching a hand over a wound, now closing.
Son of a bitch.
So we gotta just get him off the ship.
The last attacks you, but fails against your armor class
That's good.
as you swipe his quarterstaff. Over.
So where are they on the main deck in regards to like the edge?
They are center deck. You would have difficulty pushing them unless you could push them at least 15 feet, either west or east.
Okay. Well, gosh, so many of my things require ground. Okay. How close are they together?
They are in a 4. Basically, there's like an empty space in the middle. There's like a cross of boop, 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 boop.
Some 15-foot diameter.
Yes, that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to cast Thunderwave then.
Nice.
Yeah.
So 15-foot cube centered on them. Must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. I will push them towards the edge. On a successful save, half as much damage and isn't pushed. So
The only downside, Thunder Wave originates from you, so you'll have to get up right on them.
oh, it does. Okay. How far away are they?
They're within 15 feet. If you went straight to them, you could potentially, since I assume you're trying to take them to the closest point to knock them off,
Yeah.
you could go, hold on, 20 feet to get to be where you could then turn and then spell.
Okay, that's within walking. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. All
So
right.
I'm going to go around to the side opposite the edge and Thunderwave, and that is con 14.
Okay. The only one that succeeds is the one that took an axe to the chest. The other 3, so the only one far right, the other 3 are knocked backward, it looks like 10 feet, and they take the 2d8 damage.
Okay. So that is going to be 10.
Okay.
So how close to the edge are they now?
They are now within 5 feet of the edge. They are against basically the hull. A successful push would knock them over. You note they are near several of the men and the cannons on the edge. And at that, you see the men of the ship, as though practiced, move with an efficient urgency, tackling the ones closest. And the 3 men on this side immediately attack.
I will say bonus action, I cast Shillelagh on my quarterstaff.
Nice. And in an instant, 2 of the invading force are thrown overboard by the defenders, leaving one struggling in what looks to be a back and forth battle. Taking us back to Lionel. You've got one in front of you, alone, isolated, in the center of the deck. The other in a battle with the crewmen.
There's one in the battle with the crewmen. So I dart toward the one in the battle with the crewmen, and I just use my attack action to use the shove action.
Okay.
And so I think that's just contested strength.
Yes.
But he is grappling with the others, so he should have disadvantage.
Yes, he will. And in fact, I'm going to combine the two of your rolls here. So go ahead and roll.
The two of my rolls.
You're going to get to roll for the crewman who's also currently fighting with him.
Oh, so I get to roll advantage then? Cool. My highest was 16 plus my strength, 7.
You come, and with a quick push, as though rehearsed with the crewman, you were able to get leverage, and he is launched off the ship.
Hell yeah. And I'm going to... how much movement was that? Like 15 feet still, or...
That would have been around about 20.
Okay. But that puts me 10 feet away from the one that's in the center.
Correct.
Dash, disengage, or hide. All right, what I'm going to do... So there's gunmen, and there's like cannons on the side. I'm going to hide behind one.
Nice. You duck behind it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a hide check for me. Bon. Or Bonnie, I'm sorry.
How far away is the guy from the edge? The one guy that's left?
He is, 15 feet to even get to the side there.
Okay.
So he's center deck still. He's about 25 feet from you, technically.
No, I attacked him.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I forgot where you were. Yeah, no, you're like.
I'm right there.
Well, he swapped out. He disengaged using a practice motion, as though they have special traits. So he tagged out, replacing it. But he's about 10 feet from you now, because he swapped with the guy on the other side.
Okay. I'm gonna go into a rage, and I'm gonna try to pick him up and run him over to the side.
Go ahead and do it. It'll be an opposed strength.
Yeah.
He failed.
Great, because I definitely didn't.
He rolled a 1.
Great.
What'd you roll?
17 plus 4.
I will say that is sufficient enough to pick him up, and you now have him held
Cool.
above your head, basically, running to the side of the deck. You cannot throw him this turn, but he is held.
Sweet.
Can I do a thing? I intended to do this. I promise I didn't intend to do it because my roll was low, because I want to use the rune that I have, because I wind.
Yeah.
So it's 18 for stealth. That's 6 plus 7 plus my extra 5.
Nice.
I want a magic person off this side.
You you succeed, of course. Oburn, you see that there is one person currently held. They failed, by the way, their turn. They also then failed
to get
struggling
out.
Against you. Yeah.
Excellent.
As Bonnie seems to be running them to the side of the ship to hurl them overboard.
Okay. I think Oburn's just going to run over and help.
Roll a perception check before you.
Oh, no. I don't like this.
And is that the last person that's on the ship so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Keyword.
So far.
13.
You can see another skimmer coming in fast, and you recognize that they will, based on the timing of before, be landing in, you'd say 2 turns.
How far away are they?
They are within 60 feet, and then they're about 30 feet up. So
Okay.
90 altogether. Kind of. Hold on. It's not quite 90 because you could do it at a diagonal, however. They're 60 feet up, or 60 feet away. Kind of basically 60 feet at a diagonal.
Well, I mean, that'll work. I'm going to... Yeah, let's go ahead and cast Flaming Sphere at its maximum of 60 feet away.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bonus action use it to move it an additional 30 feet or however much I need to ram it straight into the skiff.
Awesome.
Nice.
And the skiff needs to make a Dex 14 save.
Today I learned that Flaming Spear can be cast in the air, I think. I don't see any reason it couldn't.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to correct me on that, feel free to do so, but I think that you're right.
Nothing in the rulebook says a dog can't play basketball.
This is what's interesting. This is the problem that D&D doesn't actually have or take height into consideration very well.
It's the Z-axis. That's where it gets you.
When you move the spear, you can direct it up to barriers 5 feet tall and jump it across pits 10 feet. So if you cast it in the air, what happens, right? Does it just fall?
Okay. I have a Twitter post from the principal rule designers of Dungeons & Dragons and lead designer of the Player's Handbook.
Jeremy Crawford?
Yes.
Nice.
He says, Flaming Sphere has no means of flight, yet the spell doesn't stop you from creating the sphere in the air. If you do, it falls.
Okay. Jeremy Crawford is the man, technically.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because that does kind of suck. That was a really cool thing you were about to do.
Okay. Well, then...
He
Well,
throws a basketball.
I'm
out.
going to take that slot back then.
I was going to say we can... I'm interested in that. We may circle back on that. I'm not sure that that is so powerful as to be needed to not be able to levitate, but we'll play with that later. How about this? Go ahead and roll for me. We'll leave it to chance. There's a part of me that wants to house rule that, but also can see the need to keep it grounded by the limitations of gravity.
Okay.
So what I'll do, roll me a D100.
Oh, okay.
If you roll 50 or higher,
I have a D100.
I'll give it to you. And for the sake of this session, you can cast it in the air.
I'm going to use my bones dice for this.
What we get?
33.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
it was worth a shot.
No. All right, then. Ooh, is there an obvious pilot?
So these skimmers, essentially, yeah, you could target the cockpit
Okay.
or an engine or the single propeller.
Oh, okay. Moonbeam on the propeller. That is a range of 120
Nice.
feet.
You won't let me use a flaming sphere? Fine. How about a satellite-guided laser instead?
Oh, the sun? Fine. The moon then.
You're summoning a goddamn laser from the sky.
Hashtag space lasers.
Oh my god. This is... I love it.
You put us in a dogfight.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. I mean, I will note that you've noticed that so far all you've fought are using quarterstaffs.
So now the propeller has to make a con 14
Yes, it
saving
does.
throw.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's so good. Moonbeam is also just one of my favorite spells because it literally does. It's just such a satisfying.
Well, now you can
spell.
just move it around.
Yeah, I can actually. And I will say, you don't have to roll it now. It's when the creature starts the turn within the moonbeam, it's engulfed by ghostly flames. So you don't have to do it right now if you don't want to.
I think actually you are doing yourself a disservice. It's when the creature enters the spell area for the first time. So I believe, based on my...
Oh, on a turn. Okay, yeah.
So I believe this first time, it immediately takes the damage.
Okay.
And then...
Also takes it on its turns if it's in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I may have to revisit that. I can't remember if it's only first or second. But regardless, right now, you get to roll... I guess let's do it first. But I think regardless, you're going to do some damage.
Yeah.
It fails.
Cool. So that's 2d10 radiant damage. That is 12 radiant damage. You're
So
right about Moonbeam
creating
too?
it, you were right. It is not when you... It is not at creation.
Okay.
It is the first time it enters it. So thus, in this case, when it starts. Which makes sense, because otherwise it's 40-10 at level 2, which felt like kind of silly. But regardless, it still failed. It still took the 12 damage. Because its turn is now.
Okay.
But just good to know, and then it stays a hazard, so you can swath it across the...
Cool.
Sorry.
So I will say that is 12 directly to the propeller.
Yep.
If I can.
So it actually does it too. You cut a swath across the ship.
Hell
You
yeah.
see the shield that it's using light up as you run this, as this spell runs over it, and you see it, the color flash brightly, and you see the men who were about to jump out hutch, and they were gathered on the sides, and they just zoom past as though they can't afford to stop, giving you space. There was no one on the ship except you and Bonbon's attacker. Lionel, it's your move. There's only one person in the arms of Bonnie.
Yeah. So I'm hidden. So can I jump out and get advantage on the roll to help just shove off
Absolutely.
the cool? So just a contested strength with
Yeah.
them at disadvantage because they're grappled. I'm glad that was advantage because I rolled a 2 on both of the dice.
Oh no.
My strength is only a 1, so
They
it's just a
don't.
3.
They managed to sort of kick you away.
Cool. I'd just go back and hide again.
So, that being said, Bonnie, it's your move.
I eat them.
Have you raged yet?
I am enraged. Well, I'm not anymore because I didn't do damage or take damage, but I rolled a 17
It's
plus 4.
If you attack. Oh.
It's specifically if you do damage or take damage.
But I didn't.
Or you can also just attempt to attack and then fail. That works too.
Yeah.
You can stay in rage even if you just attempt
Oh
to
yeah.
attack.
If you just attack.
Well, I'm wondering, this is...
But I didn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't really technically count as an attack, I suppose. May have to play with that again. But right now, anyway, yeet them. What'd you roll?
I mean,
I eat them.
What'd you roll?
17 plus 4.
You yeet them. They are yeeted. The yeeting is done.
They have been yoked.
they certainly take damage, right?
Well, that's the thing is, it's why it feels feels limiting. I'm going to say you're still in rage.
Yeah, because this
may-
is like attacking intent. I think
Yeah,
I mean, if you want, I can go into frenzy and I can attack them and then throw them.
I mean, like grappling and shoving and everything
is an attack
action.
It's an-
I think
yeah.
it is. We need to confirm
Okay.
that for those listening, but I'm pretty certain it still counts.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep
Cool.
it, so you're still in rage.
Cool.
You yeet them. They are yeeted. There is momentary calm. As you can see, the initial band of skimmers have seemed to be returning. The ones that you moonbeamed are also, it looks like, returning back as though to up on Min. And you see a second wave approaching, approximately to be here at the end of this coming round. What do you do in the meantime?
I would like to prepare an action. As soon as the next wave of people jump off of the next ship, I would like to cast my now once daily gust of wind to have a 60 foot trail of, or 10 foot wide, I think 60 foot long gust of wind at them, and they have to make a save, strength variety.
Yep.
Which I don't know how they'll do when they're in the air. But I guess if you don't let me wait until or if you make me wait until they get to the deck.
I'm totally fine. I think this is totally applicable.
Or I guess, can I anticipate where they'll be so that I can make sure I've used my movement to get there? To where I'll be within 60 feet of them?
They'll be immediately blown back 1d6 by 5 because they're flying.
1d6 by 5?
Medium creatures are unable to move forward against the wind, or if flying, are blown back 1d6 by 5.
Cool.
So
Nice.
And it's 10 feet wide, so however many, they're falling down in that same like 15-foot formation, so I guess I could probably grab 3 of the 4 of them, right?
we re-eat the eating. The eating in this case.
The
eating.
You both still have the opportunity to prepare an action before the next skimmer arrives.
I'm going to go over to one of them cannons and put one of them shiny cannonballs in it and aim it at the closest one.
You can go ahead and fire. Be all one action.
But we're not in initiative.
I'm just running through your turns all at once, but you're still in
Oh,
initiative.
okay. I mean, yeah.
Yours will be the last thing that happens before initiative. So
Okay, yeah. I'll fire at the closest skimmer thing.
okay, the only ones you'll be able to attack, unfortunately, are on the sides. But you can definitely fire at the one attacking like your ally, because you're
Okay.
center of the cross. So
Is there the skimmer that went away? Is that still within 60 feet of where I initially put the moonbeam?
it is not, but the oncoming skimmer is.
Okay, then I'm just going to use an action and migrate the moonbeam directly over that one. Also aimed on the propeller.
Got it.
Migrate the moon.
So
Yes.
what happens
Move
is
the moon.
you fire from one of the cannons.
Kablam!
A bright flash, but no brighter than a cannon, just as though spitting. And the orb shoots out and evaporates. And then you see a less than spectacular effect as the shimmering globe around one of the oncoming skimmers dissipates.
It knocks out their
The
shield?
shield.
Ooh, that's killer.
It's dispel. Well,
Awesome.
Specifically, like dispel magic for that specific magical effect.
Awesome.
shield.
you quickly follow and see that the other crewmates give you an encouraging yell and then fire the cannons. And as they do, the skimmer
Nice.
explodes in a swirl of flame and dust. As you rack the moonbeam, you see those in sort of cowering as though they knew it was coming. You see it burn them, but they proceed through. The four jump, and immediately Lionel's gust of wind launches three of them off track, and you see them falling.
Can I
It
roll
looks-
the d6 just to do it?
Yeah, see how far they go?
Yeah, I like. Oh man, this is so fucking cool because I don't do magic stuff with this character. So I roll out of my like hidden position behind the cannon and like grab my shoulder where my rune is and just shove my hand out with this gust of wind and knock them back. What is it? A d6 times
5.
5? Just 10 feet off track, but I imagine that's
enough.
plenty to shove them off track from the ship.
You see them falling heedlessly to the ground. You note that those falling, now that you're sort of, if you appear to be, kind of watching, they seem to be falling safely, as though they have some sort of feather fall.
Or something. Yeah.
But they are falling, and they seem to be not getting caught.
Cool.
The last one lands on the deck, suddenly aware that he is very, very alone. But as a professional does, he turns and immediately you see him aiming for one of the cannons, as though his only goal is to get to it. That being said, we are back at the top of the turn order. And Lionel, it is your move.
I dash at him and attempt to. So he's like right
He
next to a
landed
cannon.
and you see him technically turn order. He hasn't actually done it yet, but you see him making for one of the cannons.
But he's still like 15 feet away
Yeah.
from the edge.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is use my bonus action to redirect my gust of wind at him. Am I in the?
If you do that,
I would have to direct myself so that he's not like the rest of the gunmen and everything are not in the way.
and that would be the problem, is to do that, you will have to lower the gust of wind down to the deck level, and it would hit them, unfortunately.
If I'm okay, well, I won't do it then.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just so wide.
Yeah,
It's like 30 feet, right?
10.
10. Wait.
It's 60 feet long. It's 10 feet wide.
Oh,
I just imagine there would
could
be,
do that.
Yeah, there would be definitely a
sorry.
gap toward the front.
no, I was going to say, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could definitely knock him, especially if you're trying to front him. You're not going to
Yeah.
be able to get him over this turn unless you roll particularly well.
Well, no, you can't. If he passes the strength save when they're on the ground, it's just 15 feet.
Exactly.
Or if he fails the strength save.
But it'll knock him
But it'll
back.
get
so-
him right to the edge.
So,
Yeah, so I'm going to aim myself over so that I'm
I got
hitting him directly forward. So, yeah, so he's just got to Make a strength save.
I do believe that's a fail unless you have less than a 6, which
Oh, no,
spoiler,
that wouldn't
you
be.
don't.
That's the lower than the base numbers. And I don't know what my spellcasting mod would be, but
I think we decided it was charisma.
yeah, that's the highest relevant like casting mod I would have.
Well, and for these, it's the runes are based on, typically they can be attuned to
you.
what is your most powerful.
So yeah, I do that, and he is pushed back 15 feet toward the edge. So now he's within 5 feet, right? I'm going to run at him now and use my attack action to use the shove action to try and push him that extra 5 feet off the edge.
All right, what do you roll?
Not great. Only an 8.
Unfortunately, he does not get yeeted. He
Okay.
is yet.
I'm gonna. How far away
Yet to be
was I
yeeted.
from him in the first place?
You weren't that far. You were only about from where you were hiding 15 feet. So
So it was probably 30 feet.
altogether, yeah.
All right. So I guess I can just try and chance it and take a attack of opportunity to use my
Go for it.
cunning action to dash away. Or I'd have to dash. I don't have any more movement.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
No, you succeed.
Okay.
He swings at you, and it's a swing and a miss.
Cool. So I just dash back away as close to like the rest of the cannons I can, or back straight because I still have a gust of wind. I can't rely on hiding right now.
Yeah,
Because I want to keep that going.
exactly. Bonnie,
How far away am I from the dude?
15. Did you knock
If
it?
I was like, I just pushed
Yeah.
somebody.
so like-
I was by a cannon, I guess.
Yeah, it's about 30 feet because you have to go diagonal. It's probably more like 20 if I was looking on an actual thing and considered diagonal spaces, but you get the idea. Either way, you can make it.
Be careful. You will have
can't,
to
I'm
make
short.
a strength save if you get within my gust of wind.
I'm enraged. I don't give a shit.
You should be able to, with your
Okay.
advantage.
I'm gonna go run over there and try to shove
There's-
him off the thing.
There's a fun thing you could do, and I shouldn't tell you this, but I feel obligated, Terry, since you are newer to D&D. Something that is totally, I believe, workable by the rules is that you could run straight into the gust of wind,
Oh, yes!
choose to willingly fail it,
elect to. Oh!
and fly that way.
Would I have to make a deck save or something to try and not fall off the ship also?
Nope, because it is less than 15. It is more than 15 feet. Even if you fail, you cannot yeet yourself off the ship unless, ironically, you were to get too close to the edge and then walk into it. Then you have the potential to get yeeted. So it's actually safer to be the yeeter now.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump in.
This conversation is going to sound so amazing or dumb later. I
Yep,
can't decide.
The yeeter has become the yeeter.
All right.
Just cinematically
Just this
describe how you're like running into the slipstream to like.
All right, so this little tiny gnome is looking at this guy, and it is like, I'm gonna eat this bitch. But then I see this gust of wind shooting right at him, and I'm like, I'm gonna eat myself.
I'm gonna eat myself.
And so this little tiny gnome jumps into a gust of wind and just flies arms full out at the dude, head down, about to fucking headbutt him.
Yes.
This is amazing. You're gonna headbutt him?
Yep.
Roll your shove with inspiration. You get
Oh my
advantage.
god. I got an advantage anyway. Nat 20.
Yes!
I headbutt a man off a boat.
You headbutt a man off a boat.
Yes!
That is in fact what happens.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
You have performed the yeetening. He is launched off the boat from the sheer power of your
Tiny head.
tiny head. And the skies, well, rather I should say, the ship is again yet clear. In front of you, the skies also are clearing. The cannons are making short work of the schooners, leaving just the large grand ship that your ships are quickly approaching. The vice captain comes up to you. Hi, good work. It's all on you now. And as you get close, He gestures expectantly as you're to board
Hell yes!
the long ship.
I'm
We'll
already
make our pass.
going. I'm already on the way.
He says, come to the back. We'll make our pass, and you'll be able to jump straight on.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
I still don't
Oberon
like
looks
this.
terrified.
I still do not like this at all.
Auburn, we've got this.
I
This
don't-
is so exhilarating.
It's nice, but also this is so far away from the ground. This is not my element.
I just yeeted Amanda off a boat with my head. I'm already on the way to the back of the boat.
As you get back to the back,
I assume this takes enough time that I should just dispel my gust of wind. Yeah. It was cool while it lasted. Damn, we got some
Yes.
utility out of
Moonbeam
that.
as well.
yep, you approach the back of the ship. There's a small area as though it was designed for this. You notice the cords that have been following you have plenty of length here. Worth noting, when we talk about propellers, they are two stems like mast in the center of the ship. They are not, for example, something you're about to jump into. You were well
Awesome.
below those. He hands each of you a stone. He says, this should give you enough gravity to get there. On my mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, now!
Ah!
You fall.
I'm just like,
I want Lionel to do the most fucking. Can I do a dex roll?
So I actually need all of you to roll acrobatics checks.
Acrobatics. Okay.
Oh no.
You get to do so with advantage as the guidance stones lock on and you feel your feet grow heavier as you fall towards both the moving boat underneath you and above you.
Is it
athletics?
athletics or acrobatics?
I'm so sorry. It's acrobatics here. You were aiming yourself in midair.
15.
24.
Jesus.
10.
That makes sense.
Both of you land. You moderately, no problem. You very gracefully.
Can I describe it?
Yes.
I
But
want.
wait.
Okay.
You feel yourself going off course, but the stone orients you and you hit the ground, or I should say, the floor. Is not the right word either.
Hull.
The hull, thank you, of the airship, but crash on it. Take 2d6 of damage.
Oh.
We hear a nice dong.
Lionel.
As Lionel does this, he I imagine grabs onto like the railing on the back. Did you?
That's an 11.
Oh. And you rolled it yourself.
I did.
He grabs onto the railing on the back, and he's like prepared as they're counting down. And as soon as he says go, he like yanks off and dives out like he's diving off diving blocks in swimming, and then like perfect for like forward somersault, and then lands on his feet.
Beautiful.
10 out of 10.
Thank you.
Only one flip?
You were all
Okay.
within.
It's the most graceful pike you've ever seen. Like
Okay.
Lionel, Bonnie, you were both standing next to each other. Oberon, you were about 15 feet forward and closer to what you see as the grand, larger, almost bay doors on top. This deck is almost 90 feet by 90 across.
Oh, God.
You are dead center. The doors begin to come open, and there's no one else on this deck. This deck seems to be nothing but for, say, transport. All of the cannons in this ship are enclosed. This ship is a metal behemoth with gun after gun and turrets all along the sides. But here on the top, there are only two large cannons that sit on the top above the cockpit. You know that your job here is to disable this ship. You also know that to disable this ship means either to bring it down or to disable the stone that maintains its flight. You no longer have the cords from the airship above you. They have been severed, and you are now trailing behind you. It is expected that the vest will be removed. Before you, the bay doors open, and 2 men in plate mail start coming out. Shock troopers, it appears. Both wielding large hand-in-half swords. In one hand, the other wielding what looks to be some sort of wicked knife with blades on both sides extending.
Amazing.
They're coming out, and then behind them, you see a third figure who, as they leave, they shut the doors behind them, perhaps a wizard or sorcerer. The 2 men begin to proceed towards you, neither speaking. Roll initiative.
Natural 20.
You were my oldest and dearest die. What did I ever do to
Oh
you?
no.
Nat 20, you said? So was that...
Not nat. Just 20.
5.
10.
Am I still in rage?
We'll say yes,
Okay.
just for the sake of, I think the action here would be such that this is an aggressive action you were taking. I will grant it, especially because obviously you're fighting scary things. Bonnie, you're up. They're about 45 feet away from you.
Why am I so small? All right. I'll run my 25 feet and then shoot a crossbow at them.
Okay, it's at disadvantage.
Yeah. I didn't roll disadvantage. Oh, no. 11.
You do not succeed. They move forward, crossing the deck in what seems to be easy but slow steps. You can tell that they have some sort of attachment. Their feet, even as they leave, seem to clink right back. Some sort of effect is keeping them bound to this ship. You have no such effect. Other than the greater barrier around the ship, you feel as though it would be quite easy for you to be picked up and moved. And as though, reading your mind, both of them lift the crooked double daggers in their hand and launch them at you. And wind propels behind them. Roll strength saves, all 3 of you.
Not very good at those.
21.
Success.
8.
Failure.
Strength save.
Mhm.
That's 10. You go to dice jail.
You were also blown back. Ironically, you effectively take the place of where Lionel was because you were 15 feet ahead. Lionel, you're blown 15 feet back. As a spell you recognize, as the 2 blades land in front of them and begin to twirl in a wicked, vicious pace, blowing you. There are now 2 obstacles in front of you.
Awesome.
Lionel, it is your move. You are now being... so you are currently in the gust of wind. You will need to roll a strength save if you remain in this at the end of your turn.
Definitely won't.
But obviously it is only 2
There's
feet.
just one gust of wind.
There's one here in front of you, and there's one in front of Bon Bon.
Okay.
So you could...
Is Bon Bon to my right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could easily move to your left and go forward.
Okay.
They are... Yeah, so because they're still 15 feet away from Bon Bon. So they...
So they're 75 feet away.
Correct.
Well, no, they're 75 feet. Yeah. They're 15 feet from the door. I was in the dead center. So I would have been...
You're right at 60 feet away.
I'm right at 60 feet away.
Because 45 is the middle.
Are they right next to each other?
Yes.
Okay. Can I roll a quick perception check to see if there's if I think I could get into the door?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll let you do that as a just sort of not even going to steal your action. Just going to
12.
You don't see a way in, but you suspect there is likely a device by the door that would allow you to open the bay doors. Alternatively, there are 2 flights of stairs and 2 doors that are enclosed on the far sides of each wall that you could potentially run to that seem to likely go downstairs.
Okay. I am going to... So I'm 60 feet away from those doors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to dash to those the set of doors on the left.
The like enclosed, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
That look like they may go down like downstairs. All right.
I got what you're doing.
Dashing for those.
Okay.
And I want to try and...
So you use your move action, then presumably your cunning action, the dash, giving you 60 feet of movement.
I mean, I could just use my... I guess I could use my cunning action in case I need to use an attack.
Okay.
And then interaction to try and press whatever button there is to open the door.
Okay. These here, it looks like...
It's just a door.
Yeah. Looks
Cool.
like you could spin the door. So it's an interaction. You can begin to try to open it.
Okay. I'll do that.
It feels like the door will open. You can't hear anything around you due to the wind. And there is no window. You have an action left. Would you like to do anything with that or spend the turn, basically? The door will open at the end of your turn.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Can I ready my action to... might be stretching a little too hard, but can I ready my action to attack if something jumps out at me from the door?
It's not stretching because you should... I think the interaction would open the door and then you have your action free still. So you open the door and you see nothing inside except a hallway, of course.
Okay, so I'll just, next turn I'll go down.
Oburn. Lionel is abandoned the fight, running straight to the door. Bonbon is attacking the two guardians, it seems, in plate mail.
Okay.
And you are about 45 feet away from the doors and about 15, about 30 feet. Yeah, about 30 feet away from the two men.
Okay. How far away from the wizard?
He is behind the bay doors, so you can't see him anymore.
Okay.
He just closed the door behind him.
Why not use this? You know what? You only live once. Wild shape.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the giant lizards that we fought earlier,
Yeah.
which have spider climb, which means I don't need to do any more checks on the difficult surface of the airship.
That's a great idea, but I think their CR might be too high to do that.
CR 1/4. If it's the same giant lizard, unless there is a different entry for giant lizard.
That was definitely a different giant lizard than what you guys faced. But
Oh.
you are correct. There is a giant lizard that is a CR 1/4 in here, isn't there? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
trying to find it. Yes. Okay. So
So that was not the giant lizards we fought earlier.
no.
Oh.
They were stronger. But this
Okay.
has all the stats that you see here under giant lizard. So you were totally good to do that.
Okay.
The ones you saw earlier, these are giant and they're like 5. What are they? Medium? No, they're large. Really? Now I feel bad. They were much stronger, the ones you fought. They had 50
Okay.
HP.
That's fine. We kicked their ass anyway.
But otherwise, you can still do the spider climb thing.
Okay.
Sorry, because I have a climb speed and everything.
Was it like an ancient giant lizard or something like that? Okay.
Yeah, they were stronger.
Okay.
But cool. Anyway, sorry about that. You're totally good.
Okay, cool. But yeah, giant lizard.
Nice. I love it.
So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to
I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
going to scuttle over and let's see, what can I do as a giant lizard?
Scuttle.
I'm going to use a bite attack.
Yeah.
So that is a +4 to hit.
Wild shape's so good.
That's an 8. Okay, so that's a 12.
That is, unfortunately, you bite unsuccessfully against their armor.
Okay. I think I only have one attack too. So
That is correct. Bonnie, it's your move.
I'm going to get however far away they are. And
Only 15 feet.
okay, that's what I thought. I'm going to try and recklessly attack with my great axe.
Nice.
Because I'm a barbarian. 22.
You hit.
That's what I thought. 11 plus 4, 15.
15 damage. Do you have any bonuses because you're in barbarian rage?
Oh, yeah, I do. 18. Right? 15. No, 17. It's only 2.
So,
only
as
17
you gnaw
damage.
against the one on the left, Bonnie slams her axe with an audible impact over the sound of the propellers, crushing through the plate mail and gorging a long, bloody swath as she rips it back. They don't like that.
You'll have advantage on me.
Yeah.
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 How is a 16 versus your armor class?
Hits.
Okay.
Might be a problem.
Could be. You take 8 damage.
Oh, good. I'm down.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I got hit for a lot earlier.
You don't forget,
no.
it's halved.
It's halved? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay.
Are you still down?
No.
Okay. You see a
probably would have taken
visceral
less
impact as the guardian seems to reach back and slam back into Bonnie, giving essentially what it got. Bonnie looks as though she's about to go down, but through sheer rage stays standing.
Basically, yeah.
The other is Nala going to attack you, the giant lizard. It rolls a 14 against your armor class.
Yep, that hits.
Do you, I forget, when you're in wild form, you get the armor class that the
Yep.
beast has. Darn. Well, that's okay. It's just extra HP for you anyway. That would have been way cooler if I had thrown that in.
Brian throws the dice away.
Yeet.
Okay, you take 4 damage.
19 hit points. Okay.
All right. From the, you take 4 damage from the temporary hit points that the wild shape gives you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Did I skip your turn? No,
No,
you went
it
after
should
them.
be
Sorry. Yes.
On
No.
me.
It is your
Well,
turn.
no, I mean, I'm a before Oberon.
Yeah, which it's your turn now because the 2 knights just went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like, oh no.
So I guess I just make as fast as I can. I'm looking for whatever is controlling this thing.
Okay, you have 2 options. You could go to the cockpit, which is essentially directly to your right. There's another door that leads up a small staircase. You can see where the steps begin, and then a portcullis door.
Portcullis?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I'll head straight for that. How much movement is that? And
Not
probably
much.
interaction.
It's just like 15 feet up.
Okay.
So it's another interaction. So you can open the door.
Okay.
You can open the door. Do you do so?
Yeah.
When you do, you open the door, you see 5 people manning the helm. 2 standing where the helm is, and then 3 at various stations inside. As you open the door, they look and they see you as though they knew you'd be coming based on the fact
'Cause
you're
they
fighting
could-
something directly.
Yeah.
And you see the 2 men at the helm reaching for their weapons. The pilot staying firm on it, though reaching still, and then realizing he has to drive. And then the various men at the stations begin to stand as well. What do you do?
How close is the pilot? Like, how close is the pilot to the person co-piloting?
5 feet.
Damn it! I'm looking for that.
You could start taking out the men on the crew. They're all about 5 to 10 feet. Like they're successfully, they're at least 10 feet apart. There's
Okay.
a 5-foot gap between each.
I'll just head straight for the closest one, and grab that one-on-one sneak attack damage.
All right, go for it.
Hopefully,
Oh,
13 to hit.
you hit.
Cool.
These are the men in here seem to be in more of a dress uniform.
I want to go to incapacitate them.
So you're not killing them.
No.
Okay.
I mean, unless I accidentally roll way too high.
It is melee damage in D&D. You could roll 1 billion damage and technically do it non-lethal.
Okay, yeah. I guess I can just say non-lethal.
I stabbed
yeah.
them through the heart, but non-lethally.
I throw them off a building to knock out.
That's 14 damage.
You see the first crewmate drop.
Cool.
Oh, I don't have enough HP to get there, but I want to be there so bad.
And I want to use my cunning action to try and hide. I mean, that's going to be hard as hell in here, I imagine.
Yeah, if you're gonna go straight to hiding, I mean, frankly, it's a virtually impossible task to hide, but you can try.
Yeah, that's just the only extra action I have, so I'll go for it.
Yeah, So go ahead, roll. I mean,
I'm sure it's going to be a super high roll to hit or whatever. It's pretty fucking good. 25.
It was pretty good. You
It's
can't
18 on the die and plus 7.
You can't disappear from those that can see you, but the two men driving the actual who are piloting are unable to see where you duck behind. But the three other two men down on this level,
oh yeah, there's a 2 now. Yeah.
See you. Okay, Oburn.
I would like to. Can I like bite one of the guys and like just rip them off of Bonnie and like toss them away?
You could try and do that.
Okay.
You could try and do that, but it will be very difficult. It will be opposed strength checks, of course. You'll be basically grappling them.
Okay.
It's definitely not impossible. I don't know what a giant lizard's strength is, but
It's 15.
it's definitely doable. You're just rolling an opposed strength check. You suspect by what they're wielding that they probably have at least a substantial strength to stand in plate mail.
Okay. I'm going to pop out of wild shape and pop back into turtle form. And then I'm going to use Thunder Wave.
Nice.
And I'm just going to shove them as far away as possible.
Okay.
So that is a con 14 saving throw for them. Well, actually, hold on. Before I do that, let me just check and make sure that I can both pop out and...
I think it is a free action to get out of...
Bonus action.
It's bonus to pop out.
Bonus to pop out.
What circle are you? Just to be curious.
Circle of land, coast. So bonus action, I'll pop out of that and then shove them away.
Cool. Yeah,
So
you should be able to do that. Cool.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just double checking to see. Yeah.
okay, so con 14 then.
They both fail.
Yes.
They are blown backward from your thunder wave 15 feet and take 2d8 damage, I believe.
I am actually going to cast it at a second level, and we're going to make it 3d8.
Nice.
Bring it
because
on.
I just want them gone.
Yeah, probably fair.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just increase of damage and not distance. Okay. That is 9 damage.
Okay. The one that Bonnie struck goes down.
Okay.
Collapsing in a heap. The other is still standing. At the top of the turn order, we would return to Bonnie. However, you see the doors behind them begin to open again.
Shit.
And you can see 2 more men coming out. Simultaneously, boots begin thumping around you as reinforcements arrive.
Nice.
And other folks, not in uniform, fall in rehearsed almost shape around you and begin to fight the outcoming guardians.
Cool.
Bonnie, there is still one in front of you, however, that is not matched. What do you do?
Yeah. And the new ones are
They're
far away for me to get to.
They're not too far away, but they seem to have other adventurers, well, other non-uniformed traveling towards them, ready to engage. You can see the beginnings of combat all around you.
Okay. Recklessly attack again. 20 to hit.
You succeed.
Yes. 8 damage.
Okay. You succeed, hitting a fairly firm blow, and obviously the thunder damage from before, but it is still standing.
Can I bonus action frenzy and attack him again?
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that. 19.
You definitely hit.
Mm-hmm.
Did math there for a second, then I'm like, what? It's a
Man.
flat rate.
7 damage.
Between that and the other, you succeed, taking it down. Around you, you see combat beginning to get engaged as more men are coming out from the bay, but also, too, are more boots landing on the deck as the boarding seems to be coming in stride.
Can I use my move to go to where I saw Lionel going?
Yeah, you can make 20 feet or head 25 feet that way.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I can get anywhere, but...
Inside the cockpit, Lionel, you see two men coming towards you, both with short swords in hand. Okay, 22.
Well, it just barely hits.
Yeah. Okay. For a minute, I was like, what dice do I roll? You take 4 damage. The second is a 12, which I suspect is
Does
not
not
hit.
hit.
So you are able to bash it away. Your move.
All right, so I am hidden from the pilot.
Those two cannot see you, although you've engaged in combat now, so now there's a little bit more going on. But they are still sort of above and can't see you.
All right, if they can't see me, then I should technically have advantage
Hidden
on the
from sight.
attack against them. So I'm gonna bonus action, or I'm gonna use my cunning action to bonus action disengage from the person that is in combat with me, so I don't take an attack of opportunity. And jump up and try and attack the pilot.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Advantage? Oh, hell yeah. 23 to hit.
You succeed.
18 damage on him. Non-lethal.
He is downed.
All right. I want to take over with my remaining interaction. I would like to take over the wheel and just try and, like, is there a function to yank back to try and, like, pull back suddenly or push forward suddenly? I want to try and, like, physics it so that I push forward suddenly so that everybody else gets knocked toward me.
So I think you'd be pulling. 'Cause
Yeah.
It would
They would...
be pulled
No,
back.
if I stopped, everyone would go the opposite way.
Well, in this case, it would be you're lifting up.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
So if you yank back on the yoke,
yeah.
the whole outside, the whole ship hews upward, and you feel yourself slip and begin sliding towards the open bay doors.
Is there some sort of check I can do? I want to try. I want to just do it enough to throw everyone off balance. And
You
then
could just like
steady
yank it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's probably pretty doable. You yank back and forth. Totally fine. As soon as they begin to move, you stop jolting everyone, and everyone gets shaken off balance. You guys also roll dexterity. You're still part of the group.
I specifically wanted to do it that way so that none of our people like rolled off the front.
Right. I gotcha.
12.
Sorry.
It's 5.
Oh, no.
You fall.
Like, out?
No, just to the
Okay.
ground. Nobody falls off the ship.
You would fall toward the cockpit, if anything.
You
12.
You also fall.
My dice jail is getting so crowded.
So many are in dice jail. The turn order, we're back to the top. Around, battle is in full. There is battle all around you. Additionally, you see other ships that have come from the mist behind this one. And you can see that your allied ships have also begun intercepting those as well. And there is a crisscross of cannon fire and smoke and essentially a maelstrom of destruction and death. What's your question?
Do I get a turn after him?
Yes, sorry. It's
That's
about to
okay.
happen.
Okay.
I did skip you. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
To go straight into the narrative mode. But
It's all good.
Got
this is
excited.
happening at the same time that you get your action. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Setting the scene.
The battle has been met in full, and basically both sides have collided, and the now line of airship, as far as you can see, essentially in each direction, probably 20 to 25 in full on each side, from each side. A combined 40 to 50 Air Force. A massive bringing. Your move.
Okay.
There are people all around you, and it is tight. There's no obvious foes that are not currently in battle, but there are several crewmen of the opposite side you could attack. Or the doors, of course.
I think honestly I'll head towards the doors after Bonnie, and am also probably going to head and cast Healing Word on them.
Nice. So you begin running towards the doors. You get a Healing Word off.
Yeah, so bonus action Healing Word. So that is going to be a D4 plus 4. That's so 5. You get 5 health back.
Okay.
Can I use an action for Healing Word instead of a bonus action?
You cannot, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's specific to, it's part of the thing.
Okay.
Part of balancing what you can do with spells with your actions. And
Just
bonus
because
actions.
Healing Word is so strong, too.
Gotcha. Okay. Then...
Also, you can't cast another main spell at the same time as casting. Just a fun fact.
Yeah.
You could cast a cantrip, but not.
I will go ahead. You said there are crew near me?
Yeah, there are. You can see that there are forces of both sides meeting here in the middle.
Okay.
You could easily pick on several targets that are around you, as well as you can see, of course, where Bonnie and Lionel have ran.
Okay, I think I might just, that'll be it, and I'll just follow.
Okay. Bonnie, you can see the doors to which Lionel has run. They are, to you, roughly 25 feet to get in and then up the stairs.
Okay. If I got knocked over, do I have to use my movement standing up? Half movement?
Yeah.
And if I dash, how far is that?
Double. So you could
Yeah.
make, it's an extra 25. You get an extra 25 feet, I should say. You don't just double the half, so you'd make
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Cool.
I use my dash to run up the stairs.
You see the scene that has been set before you. Lionel is currently at the helm. There are two men, looks like, coming up from each side in an attempt to stop him, and there's a person directly beside him about to attempt to take him. But they are,
so they passed all their deck
well,
saves.
I'm just meaning that she sees them.
Yeah.
Frankly, I mean, yes, technically, it's like one is on the ground and other stuff. But my point is, there is action happening.
Yeah.
Jerk. Technically, if you want to get into it, the one who's coming up the far side is on the ground. He'll have to stand up. The other is running up, and the one standing beside him is on the ground as well.
Okay.
Can you do anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think with you having to take your dash action.
Yeah.
Okay. The one standing next to you doesn't bother getting up and attacks you while prone. He misses. Yeah, disadvantage, and you rolled a 3, so it's not worth trying again. The other one, running up the stairs, who is already standing up, attacks you.
They're so smart attacking the person flying the ship.
You already knocked the white guy out. Also, he fails too. This is great. Love this. Good dice. Very strong game.
Yes, good.
Very
Yes.
scary for player characters to die. Last person stands up and can't make it all the way to you, but is standing beside you.
Cool.
Lionel.
With his hand gently on your shoulder.
Yes. Hey, man.
Supportive.
So all I would suggest standing down. I am in control of the ship now, it seems, and one false slip from this wheel, and I think I could send us all toppling down toward the ground.
Roll a persuasion check.
21.
Okay.
Nice.
Would you actually do it?
No, do I need to roll deception?
I think you do. At
Okay.
least for this one.
$24.
Okay. The other two took you at your word. They were already amicable to being persuaded.
Okay.
The third,
Which is which one?
the one directly like beside you.
That's down.
The co-pilot, I guess, or the vice captain in this case, looked as though he was not persuaded, looked through to see if you were lying, and then seemed scared that you really would crash the ship into the ground just to spite them. So has put his sword down.
All right.
You seem to have control of the ship.
Cool.
So we're going to enter into this kind of weird state where we're not in initiative. You can make it to the cockpit if that's what you're trying
because
to do.
Both of them will be out of the combat outside. So we're technically not in initiative now. If I've had them all stand down.
Yeah. You're making your way inside, and thus the combat behind you is still ongoing, but you enter and you see them three, the three crewmen with their weapons down, Bonnie doing something, and then Lionel at the helm. What do you do?
Okay, cool. This is great. Can we land now, please?
Sure, it seems so. And I... which side's Bonnie coming up on? Which side's...
They're both coming the same way.
Okay.
The way you came.
All right. Can I perceive out to the deck to see how our people are doing?
It seems to be an evenly weighted combat.
And so we essentially win our, we meet our goal if I take this ship down.
You know that your orders were to bring this ship down.
Okay, so I mean, landing it safely would qualify,
potential.
Right?
Around you, you will note, it is chaos. Ships are falling from the sky. You see other large, grander ships like this. You see being boarded, and also your own larger ships have entered the combat and are taking them down, the ones that weren't boarded. The difference seeming to be that there were just enough ships to board approximately half of the larger ships. You see other ships starking at a direct angle that you know to be boarded as well, as though they are bringing them down.
So I think what I would like to try and get accomplished, I guess, to try and just take this ship straight down to the ground safely.
Okay. So you can try. You've never driven this before, but you can absolutely, you know how to make it go down.
Can I hold out my rapier to the co-pilot and say, so friend, why don't you take us down safely?
Roll a persuasion check. With advantage.
With advantage, because I already have him piss pants scared.
We're going down. It's your choice whether we do it safely or not.
Persuasion 22.
He nods, shaking, realizing that they've been beaten. And he stands and sort of gestures towards it.
Yeah, and I mean, I have him at
Yeah.
sword point.
He
If he makes one false move, I will act to...
throwed him.
No. I mean, still non-lethal damage, but I will act to
He doesn't know that.
hurt him. Yeah.
You see him fiddle with several mechanisms, and you feel the ship slow and then begin to sink. Not yoke down. In fact, the opposite. It's gently floating, as though whatever was holding it in the air seems to have slowed, and you feel the levitation begin to come down.
Neat.
We're just grabbing onto whatever's on the most. Just like, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
Outside the deck, the battle begins to break apart as the crewmen realize that they've been overwhelmed. And around you, the fight, however, is still I can't find the right word for this, but is still joined. Ships are still being rattled and destroyed. As you begin to sink, and you come through the mist, you see land below you, far below you. You are above the clouds. And below, you see a great battle being played out. Hundreds of thousands of men on the ground. And it seems that there are nations worth of men fighting and dying with the blood so thick as to be creating a pool among the plain. And around you, you see forces of nature, fire raining down from the sky as meteorites the size of ships crash into infantrymen. Around them, ice erupting from the lakes and falling onto men. And you see flags of nations on each side. This chosen battlefield seemingly picked for its non-chalance. There's very few arenas of battle except this great, big, bloody plain. And rising up are figures with wings adjoining below you. It seems that this is the kind of battle you've heard of, but have never seen.
It's fucking awful.
You know, I don't think I really want to land.
I don't want to be here. I would really like to go home if we can. I don't know how we got here, and I'd like to go home.
Around you, you see the crewmen, including the one piloting, ill at ease. The carnage is evidently getting to them as well. These soldiers, perhaps they knew more so than what you know, but this fight is unfathomable. Outside, there's a commotion. And you see a figure rising up at great speeds. And as he does, you think it's a he. You look closer and you can see sharp features. Those of you who have a passive perception above 15, you make it out first, but quickly it rises and pitches past you at blinding speed. Roll perception. If you have a passive of over 15, you succeed on this.
A passive 16.
Roll to 16.
I only got a 7.
You see a figure with sharp features, with almost deep porcelain-like skin, dressed in fine clothes that are bloody and torn, and rising up with him is a tsunami. And you hear, as though pitched in your ear, "You will not sully the skies with your conflict." And around you, you feel the ship bow and stop. And you see outside through the cockpit, you see multiple ships stopping and being pitched down as the winds themselves alter and change, and all of the ships around you begin to come to a halt and stop and slowly sink downward. And as they make it to the ground, the conflicts around you, you see, are beginning to stop as well. The earth itself, it's seeming rising to meet the opposing armies. Flames so hot that through the cockpit you can feel the warmth rising above the field, as it seems the elements themselves are stopping. And you hear a voice that says, "That is enough." There's a man on a white horse and a man on a brown mare and a man on a black horse, and then a woman on a silver stallion, all in nondescript closed leathers, who seem to be rising in the middle of the conflict. Their voices begin to merge together, but instead what you hear is muddled, almost nonsense, but then power, like you've never felt, rises in your chest and you feel subservient. As though this conflict was never yours, and you find yourself placing your weapons down. You can all attempt to roll a wisdom saving throw here.
Is it magic?
It is magic.
I only got 14.
I got a 19.
2 + 6, 8. I'm rolling like dog shit today.
It's all right. At least one of us will.
Even with a 19, you were
I didn't
unable
think
to
so.
resist. You find yourself marching outside, and as you do, your vision begins to go blurry. And it's like fragments for the next few moments. You see yourself surrendering. You see talks between people you recognize as important, but you don't know. And then slowly you find yourself in chains. And eventually you see an execution. And then you awake to a knocking of a wood door as you find yourself back in the cabin in the woods inside the Bulwark. And that's where we're going to end it.